So here's Bulgaria. It is located on the Balkan Peninsula, north of the Mediterranean. Bulgaria is on the Black Sea, on the crossroads between Europe and Asia. The Silk Road, all the trade routes actually went through the Bosphorus Strait, which connects the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, and went right through Bulgaria. So where you see that river there, Maritsa, that goes through the Thracian Valley, the big river in the middle of Bulgaria. That's the region of Thrace, that's a valley. And then south of it, the Rodopi mountain range. That's a very high mountainous, inaccessible area. Bulgaria is a very small country, about the size of Iceland or the state of Tennessee in terms of size, but it's got a great diversity of cultural differences. It's a very rich culture. Just to give you an example, these are some of the folk costumes from various regions. Not all. You could spend a lifetime just studying the Bulgarian folk costumes of one single region. And here are the regions, the ethnographic regions. You can see the Cyrillic writing that we use for the Bulgarian language. I've marked in red, in Latin characters, the regions of Thrace, the valley, and Rodopi, the high mountain. Okay, we're going to talk about Thracian songs now. Thrace is known as the land of Orpheus and Dionysus. Songs there are mostly monophonic, meaning they have a single melody line. They're very groovy. The most common rhythm is 2/4, but there are also some asymmetrical meters that you can find. Also some arrhythmic songs, lots of ornamentation. Songs are sung all kinds of occasions, not just holidays like Christmas and Easter and Gergyovden, but also just everyday things like going to the market, working, planting crops or harvesting them, at the dining table, dancing the circle dance or the choro, at weddings, of course, and sedyanka, which is a gathering of usually young people who dance and sing and play musical instruments, much like a yaji. These are the main musical instruments of Thrace. We see the bagpipe, it's called gaida in Bulgarian. This specific bagpipe is called jura gaida. Jura meaning small in Turkish. It's a very high-pitched bagpipe. Then we see the kaval, an end-blown flute, very similar to the Arabic ney. And below that is the gadulka, a 3-string upright fiddle with sympathetic strings. So it's very resonant. We also have the tapan, the large double-headed drum. It's worn over the shoulder. And chanove, the big heavy bells. Those are used actually as part of a costume. During rituals, men will tie them around their waist and dance with them. So I'm going to play Thracian choro or circle dance for you, just to give you a taste of the rhythms. And every choro has very specific footsteps associated with it. And these steps are something that you just learn in the culture. I remember growing up, even during communism, when musical expression was suppressed, in PE class in school, we learned a lot of the chora. So here you go. Here's the choro from Thrace. You can hear the jura gaida, the high-pitched sound. And also the sound of the tapan, the double-headed drum. Lots of complicated footwork. Okay, that gives you an idea of the choro. And the next little clip is from ritual or custom. It's called kukiri. Kukiri are elaborately costumed men who perform traditional rituals intended to scare away evil spirits and bless the host of the house with health and fertility. So you can see here the Dionysian aspects. The images, the skins, the bulls. And here the chanove, the large bells. And here's the choro in the city square. It's a very common for holidays in Bulgaria. Okay, now we move on to the Rodopi mountain. The Rodopi has a more isolated lifestyle there, not as much migration going on. So the tradition is actually kind of preserved in a more pure form, you could say, of a more homogeneous musical style. And here is just to give you an idea of the different setting, different landscape. So this bagpipe was a different kind of bagpipe. I'll talk about it in a minute. The Rodopi songs are monophonic, also single melody line. They're much more lyrical, expressive, expansive than the Thracian ones. There's frequently pentatonic melodies, highly ornamented. A lot of the songs are arrhythmic and a slow tempo. There's an exception in there's harmonies. There's two-part harmony, a diaphonic singing around the towns of Velingrad and the village of Nedelino. And it's a very interesting phenomenon. It's completely isolated there. It's endemic to those regions, to use a pandemic terminology. Here are the musical instruments. The gaida is a lot larger, and it's a very deep sound, low, deep sound. The kaba gaida. Kaba means big in Turkish. And the tambura is a long-necked, metal-strung, fretted lute. It's similar to the Greek bouzouki. And this image is just to show you something called sabor. Sabor is like a cultural festival. It happens in the summers, in the mountains, in the Rodopi, and in other mountains too, where all the people come from the cities, from the valley and towns, and they gather and they wear their folk costumes and they play music and they dance. I'm going to sing 3 songs for you. And the first one will be from Thrace. So listen for the high-pitched jura gaida. The second one will be the Nedelino diaphonic singing. You hear the harmonies. And the third one will be the Rodopi mountain song. Listen for the kaba gaida, the big gaida. So first song from Thrace is like they're all love songs. The first one is the lightest. It's basically a young woman is going to fetch water. Dena goes to fetch water. That's the title. She goes to fetch water from like the public. It's called cheshma. It's like a public fountain. And on her way there, an older man starts to like tease her and flirt with her. And she basically says, "Don't flirt with me. You're too old." The second song is from the one from Nedelino with the harmonies. It's there's a little more at stake because the love is between a Christian woman and a Muslim man. His name is Mehmet. That's how we know he's Muslim. And she's giving the woman is giving flowers to everybody except to Mehmet. So Mehmet gets like jealous and feels ignored, and he starts to cry. And she comforts him and she tells him that she will give him her own flower. So that's a happy ending. And then the third song is the heaviest. Yesterday was actually the Bulgarian Liberation Day. Bulgaria was part of the Ottoman Empire for 500 years, and the Ottoman soldiers really mistreated the local population. So a lot of the Rodopi songs talk about that, and like how a whole village gets massacred, and Um, but this one is like lighter. This is like not everybody died. The young women survived because a grandma gathered all the young women when she got when she heard that the Turkish soldiers are coming. She hid the young women in a cave up in the mountain, and she like smeared their faces and dirtied up their clothes to make them to like not be prey for the marauding soldiers. And they do survive. So when their husbands come back from working abroad, um, they actually can't recognize the women. Finally crawl out of the cave, and they're like emaciated and really ugly, and the husbands can't recognize their own wives. But there's one young man whose heart is so pure that even through the layers of soot, he can recognize his fiance. So this is her song.